Oh, let's stay on this. And Muhammed Dahleh is a human rights lawyer and joins us live from occupied East Jerusalem. Welcome to the News Hour. Now, you were the first Israeli Arab in the Israeli Supreme Court. Help us understand the logic and legality behind Israel's decision in the occupied West Bank to expand its control there. We heard the Finance Minister, Bezalel Smotrich, saying that the intention is to bury the idea of a Palestinian state.
Yeah, that's what he says, and he's clear about it, and that's what they are doing actually in reality. Now they have changed, or they want to change, the laws that have been in practice in the West Bank for dozens of years, including during the 60 years of occupation. They want to open the door now for what I call private settlement initiatives and activities. Until now, most settlements were initiated by the state, by Israel, by the government of Israel, or by the army, after lands were expropriated under the pretext that those lands are so-called state lands because they are not cultivated or they are not used by the Palestinians for agriculture. And now they are opening widely the doors for more settlement activities by any Israeli citizen or any Israeli settler who can purchase or buy any land or property or apartment, for that matter, in any place in the West Bank without the need for getting a permit in advance, as used to be the situation up until now. Until today, any settlement activity has to be coordinated basically with the army and with the military commander who has the powers in the occupied territories. And the military commander was a bit cautious. He wasn't giving permits everywhere because he didn't want settlements to be built or established in any point in the West Bank. He was focusing on certain areas, especially the settlement blocks. But now with the change that they are planning in the legislation in the West Bank, they can actually initiate settlements among Palestinian cities, towns, and villages, which is very dangerous.
Indeed, and our correspondent called this also catastrophic, and we know that the top international court has said clearly that this is Palestinian land. You're a human rights lawyer. Give us a sense of how this far-right Israeli government sees Palestinians. Is it with any humanity at all?
I mean, this government doesn't care anymore about international humanitarian law. It doesn't care about human rights treaties. It doesn't even care about the internal Israeli human rights laws or basic laws. We see now that the practices being conducted by the Israeli government in the West Bank and in the Gaza Strip are in total contradiction with international law. And, we have moved from a state of occupation to a state of combined occupation and apartheid, which is a system of racial discrimination against Palestinians everywhere, but especially in the occupied territories. And we have reached the level of genocide in the Gaza Strip and ethnic cleansing in the West Bank.
You say ethnic cleansing in the West Bank, and where does the point that we heard Donald Trump mention at the end of last year, saying that he will not let Israel annex the occupied West Bank, where does that stand now?
I mean, there is no official annexation. Israel hasn't enacted a piece of legislation by its parliament, by the Israeli Knesset, or by any other competent body to annex the entire West Bank, as it did, for example, with East Jerusalem after the war in 1967. But those decisions that have been taken by the Israeli cabinet and other steps that are being conducted on the ground, they are actually a de facto annexation. And the way I know the Israelis, they usually go gradually. They want the international community and other, and the Palestinians even to get used to the new reality until they reach the point where they can annex any part from the West Bank, even officially, and applying the Israeli law there and considering that territory as a full Israeli territory. So far, they have been talking about Area C, which is around 55% of the entire area of the West Bank. And this is actually happening. It's happening through, what they call personal jurisdiction over settlers. It's happening through jurisdiction over settlements and applying Israeli laws in the Israeli settlements. And now it's being applied with all these changes that the cabinet have introduced yesterday in a secret decision, actually, a decision that we haven't seen, because this is a decision by the cabinet, which is, the group, the body that takes decisions in security. So it hasn't been published anywhere. We'll see the effects of those decisions once they start changing the military orders that the military commander issues. The military commander, most people don't know, but the military commander is considered to be the one who runs the entire occupied territory, the West Bank. He is the one who can issue legislation. He is the one that holds all the powers that any government or parliament holds anywhere in the world. And now we are supposed to see new military orders changing the legal infrastructure in the West Bank in a way to serve the interests of the settlers and the settler groups.
Thank you so much, Muhammed Dahleh, human rights lawyer, joining us live there from occupied East Jerusalem. Thank you for your time and sharing that first-hand experience with us from the area. Thank you.